least we're going to talk today. Got a couple things: spreadsheet, notebook, pen, calculator, thought process right now. So what I'm thinking about. My kids home. You know, everything's on the table at this point. Everything's on the table, to be honest. I'm under the weather, but I'm still trying to figure things out. It's a puzzle. Let's talk about prop firms as an overall. Prop firms are designed for resets and money going in. 95% of people that enter into prop firms fail, period. End of discussion on it. That means that 5% earn any money at all. That's being modest, because most likely for every 100 people to get involved, one or two, I would think 1,000 is more like the numbers. 1,000, and if you're thinking about 100 of those 1,000 actually making money, that's actually incredible. I would say it's 50 of 1,000. So your numbers are against you. If it's 95% failure rate, that means that 50 out of 1,000 pretty much are the ones that are getting paid. How do you become one of the 50? Last year, I was able to get $1,500 away, but I could have taken $2,000 out. So let's think about this. I've been working my numbers over and over again. You know that I was talking about Paul Tudor Jones in a couple videos before this. He's talking about 5 to 1. 5 to 1 as a day trader, not so doable. Now, if 5 to 1 in a session, that is doable. Like 2 winning trades or 3 winning trades in a row, yes, you might be able to. So, but on any individual trade, if the market only moves in rough speaking terms, 1.5p or 1R against you, and that's rough speaking. Today, that would mean, in terms of what I'm talking about today, 25 ticks against you would have been a 1R move against you. 46 ticks. I don't know, let's pull this over here today. You can probably just see 25. Today worked out perfect. Looking back 9 days, the ADR was 2.5. Take that times, so 25 is 1 ADR. And then 1R was 30.31. 1.5 was 46. So what I believe is the market can go, in a good trade at minimum, the market can go 1.5p your favor before it goes 1R against you on a good trade. It means you can take out that initial target of 1.5. On a 9-contract series, which I've been working on, is what is that sweet combination? Right now, I said 5, 3, 1. 5 off at 1.5, 3 off at 3, 1 off. Is it 4, 3, 2? Is it 6, 3? And you don't even worry about the other trailer at this point. Those are the one things that I've been working on. What is that magic combination that you can win more? If you're only willing to risk 1R, if you're willing to risk 2R, then your targets are a lot harder. So today, 2R would have been 50 ticks. So 50 ticks and a 2R target in the NASDAQ, MNQ'd is what I'm talking about today. It's difficult. This isn't easy. I mean, there's just the 2.5K drawdown that comes against you. Maybe if you have 20 accounts open and if one of them goes down at a $500 loss, you stop trading that one. If another one goes up to a $500 gain, you stop trading that one. Or you keep trading it when you have a gain in one of the accounts when it goes against you. It's what is the point of of the no return when you get to on, because the 2.5K drawdown will come into play more times than not, and it's never 2.5. It's never 2,500 on the 50K. I mean, I've looked at the other ones at Apex. None of the others make sense. Like the 100,000, you got to make like 4,250 for an extra. What is it? An extra 500 maybe? I think it is, or is it 6,000 for 3,000 or something? None of them make sense. The only one that makes sense overall is the $50,000 one, and your actuality is you have a 2.5. In fact, if you really speak positively or you think about this, you really only have $2,000 to play with, because once you get past that $2,000 threshold, right now, I think my max account balance right now, or my account high is at 51.6, and my other one's at 51.2. I failed out of the 52,308 today, which was very frustrating, because I went all in on that one, thinking I was going to get it to 53,000. I really believed that it was one of those ones that stopped me out within a tick, and then it went the direction of that I thought it was going to go. But I traded big in size, and I got my ass kicked. And I went in to win that one, get it to 53,000 and be done, because I want that one. That one would have given me 12 trading days right now to play with. The one that I have left right now is at 51.2, and it's 7th days. So I got 10 days that I can use that one, because the day was day 3. If you look at the days of February, they're left to trade, meaning that I can request a payout by March 1st. That one you had to take on day 1 on February 7th, if you take your day counts and look at 7 days. And that didn't take into account that you can make it in MNQ in 7 days. Here's another thought process that I'm going through. Do I trade the NQ and the EA? Do I then trade the MNQ and the PA? There's a thought process. The MNQ, it can be one or the other, right? By the way, I took my Wi-Fi signal off, and I got my cellular data working on this one, so I'm hoping that I won't have issues with connections today. So some of my notes that I wrote today as I was trading along. When you get down 1K on the day in an EA, this is the point you must stop trading. You're wrong. 18 contracts, when they go against you, is a lot of ground to make up. So that would be basically trading 2 NQs. I was down over 700 gross on just 2 trades today, and then I went after that one. So my first 2 opening trades in my 52,308 account was down 700, and my account balance high was at 53.5, I think. So I was down about 1,200, 900, and then the next couple of trades. I'm down to only 1 EA account that I can get a payout on the month in March now, March 1st. Any other EA would make a mid-month payout now in April. So the earliest I can get paid would be around March 1st to the 1st to the 15th of April now. 1 loss per 4-minute bar. Reversals can only work a little bit of the time. Should I have an EA that goes for home runs only, meaning that I have an EA out there for fun and kicks that goes after, some of the crazy stuff that I see out there? Is the fault of the win-loss ratio. How do I achieve 5-to-1 on a win? And I've got math upon math upon math that I've tried to create this. Losses create anxiety, then it causes me to trade more size to try to make up for a loss. This has led to more failed accounts and money lost over the years. This is the broke thinking I have to overcome. 5 to 1 is too hard. How about 4 to 1? The way I have the 5-3-1 set up, it works to be about with the 1R and the 1.5 and whatnot, it works out to be about 3 to 1. So currently, what I have with my account, if all targets were hit, it would be a 3 to 1 profit target. If today that would have been 46 ticks at 1.5, 92 ticks at 3p, and 184 ticks at 6p today. So that worked out to be, when I was working out the math, um, the loss side of that 9 would have been 150 if I would have taken a full loss on it, plus commission cost at 150, so roughly 150 on the loss side. And I'm trying to pull out 4 to 1 would mean you want to pull out $600 on one trade. That's just not going to happen. More times than not, trading 9 contracts at 50 cents a tick. So basically on 9, you got $4.50 in MNQ. To get $600 in that one trade is extremely difficult. So the other side of that question is this: will more trades than not go 1.5p to my favor on entry point before they go 1R against me? That is where the questions are concerning, because if you take a 150 loss and then you're able to pull out the other side of that, and you get the work out the other side. So in other words, you get 25 ticks a loss, but you're able to get 46 ticks and win. That's what today worked out to be. Then you can work, and if your win-loss rate is correct, you should be able to make more than you lose in per trade if your win-loss rate is good enough. Where my problem runs right now, and why I lose so many of my EAs, is I've got on my account today, I traded 45. I traded 45 contracts and doubled up to 90 on one of the EAs, and I knew that was grasping at straws at that point. Another one I took, I think, to 81 contracts, and so adding into a winning position, there's got to be a point where you got to say enough. Maybe it's at 27 contracts. So only going 9, 9, and one more 9. So 9, 9A, 9B. Right now I got a 9, a 9A, and I have an 18 that I've been working with. And I have a 27 and a 45. And so I've been testing to see if I can take an EA, start with 45 contracts, move down to 27 contracts, and then go down to 9 and see if I can get close to the 53,000 on one trading day like I used to on that. So like last year, that's probably not the greatest way to go. That means I need to have a really, really great signal when I enter that first trade at 45 contracts, because it moves against you. 45 contracts is 450 by 5, right? So that's $22.50, and it doesn't take long to lose an EA at 2,500 drawdown, even if it's your very first trade. That's your greatest strength in the EA at Apex is on your very first trade that you input. That's the only time that you have a 2.5K drawdown versus the profit targets. The only time that you have maximal ability to take it. But what you have to do, and I can't move that stop up behind it because the way Ninja works, try to move that stop, you got to click it, you got to move it, and it'll go up and then it'll come back down. Next thing you know, 45 contracts, if that's what you're doing, 2250 going up. Let's say it moves up 2,000. Maybe by the time you get out, you're at 1,500 behind that. So all of a sudden, you've lost $500 in a matter of just minuscule time. So, and I don't want to trade the other ones. I looked at the 300,000. I mean, $9,000 in profit or 20,000 in profit. And these are ridiculous numbers that you have to hit. And why spend the money? Right now, at 80% discount at Apex, you're spending $33.60. So my reasoning is 55 contracts. Let me explain what I mean by that. 55 EAs, and you take 55 times, and I said 35. That's $1,925. Of those, and then you add 140 to that. So you're above the 2,000 at that. So maybe it's 50. Maybe it's 50 EAs. So 50 EAs, well, 50 EAs times 35. You know, right now that's not true because it's $33.60 at 80% off. And if you get the 35% reset on the $71 and whatnot, or 71% off, and half side resets at $40. So you're never going to pay the exact 167, at least not. And if they did that, now that they've been doing all these, it's just that you're going to take advantage of the 80% sales and the 90% sales when they come along. The 90% sells when you stack up on your EAs if you have the patience not to trade them. Because that's it. That's $16.70 at that point per EA. That means you put on 16.7 times 20. You can spend $334 to get 20 EAs at that point. That's the best deal in town when you're looking at Apex. When they offer the 90% off, load up on your EA accounts. You can take 20 EAs to PA and get paid on them. So that when you find the 90% deal, that's the only time that I would say load up on your EAs if you have the patience not to trade and blow them up. Because if they're available for you and you have the tendency to be a gambler, high risk trader of the future. If you're a futures trader, you're already high risk to start with. There's a reason why you're in this environment. So what I wrote, this is the broke thinking I have to overcome. So meaning that you know, there's got to be a point in each individual EA that you say, okay, that's enough loss for that day. That is the X amount. The X amount that I have not been able to stick to is $500. $500 at 150, that means 3, right? 150 times 3 is 450. It means I could take 3 losses today and still be above that. But the problem that I run into personally is I'm very disciplined on my first trade. First 1 or 2 trades, I'll either go in at 18 contracts at the MNQ or 9 contracts on the MNQ. But if I lose those 2 trades, all of a sudden, today I did 18 contracts. I started out at 18, another 18, and another 18. I lost 3 in a row at 18. So 150, 300, I'm down about $900. Plus the 400 that I was, 500, excuse me, the difference between high and low, high in my account balance. I only had about $1,000 to work with to try to get back. And then of course I went to the 45 contracts and then I blew it. It is what it is with me. So anyway, I worked a bunch of different maths out today. I've been able to keep one of my EAs at least above, right now, Of all the EAs that I've been in 2024, I've had 90% of them above 1,000 at one point. In, I think I've done about 10 so far, maybe, no, 11. Of those 11, I've taken 90% of those, about 9 of them above 1,000. I've taken 3 of those 11 above 2,000. And not one of them have I been able to get across that 53,000 mark. Trading the MNQ. This is the first year I'm trading MNQ, by the way. Last year I started it with the CL. I switched to the NQ in March or April or May, somewhere in that area. And I took one of those to a PA. Well, I took 17 of them to PA last year. Of those 17, I took one to a payout. I got another one above the level to get paid out, and then I blew it. Anyway, your thoughts are welcome down below. I've racked my brain with the math so long now. It's frustrating to think about. You know, if I'm set up at a 3-to-1, and very seldomly is the market going to go 3-to-1 in a day trade. That's just a fact. So then, I mean, I'll listen to other people, 13 ticks. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to go after bigger targets. I want to have a trailer on. But the other side of that is that I haven't had the discipline to stick with just 9 contracts or 18 contracts. Like today, I went after. I mean, I was gung ho that I was going to get to 53,000 a day, and I think I went to 52.6 or 7 before I turned it around the other way and then lost it all. So it's like a freaking broken record over again. I mean, it's like I'm in Groundhog Day. I'm in the movie Groundhog Day over and over again. And my wife's probably calling in now. All right, thought I would talk to you. Going to keep working it out. I got this weekend to try to solve some problems, and most of my problems, if my entries are poor, which it seems to be the point right now. I mean, there's yeah, I'm about ready to throw everything away that I know that I've done and start over again. To start from ground zero, throw away the tick charts, throw away all the minute charts, and throw everything that I've done and just rebuild the chart from the ground up again. To see work on, you know, which indicator do I like best. Williams percent R with the volume numbers that kick on are not helping me right now. There's too many false signals on the market, on the days. It just, maybe it makes sense to be on the 369 chart when it shows up over there and it's big in volume. That's the only time that I look at it. Right now, it's not helping me on the 1, 2, 3 tick chart. You know, it's a very volatile, it's a very quick moving market. I'm trying to use my 1, 2, 3 tick chart only for entries at this point. I'm not trying to use it for trade decisions. I'm trying to use my 4-minute chart and a 1-minute chart to try to make trading decisions off of. I'm trying to stay away from trading ranges and congestions, and I'm getting my ass kicked inside those. Now, that used to be some of my powerful areas that I was able to capture inside the tick trades. So then it comes down to, I believe all indicators are lagging. There's not one of them that is forward looking outside of volume. So then it comes down to, do I just trade the way that I was taught years and years ago? Throw all the indicators and everything off and just look at the simple bar chart candlestick and trade it. Nothing else on the charts. That's it. Just the candlestick and trade the candlesticks. Trade the technical signals that I know are already in my head. Take everything else off. Get rid of all the noise that's on that chart and just simply trade. That's where I am right now. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you had a good week. My week, I got one EA still in the possibility to get paid in the 1st of March if I can make my 7th day. Today was day 3. So by Thursday of next week, I need to take that EA to 53,000 if I can. It still gives me 10 trading days in the month of February to qualify if I can get that account to 55,000, which, maybe I think I'm asking way too much of myself trading the MNQ. There's got to be a way to crack this nut, and maybe it takes 2 months to take inside the MNQ. I've kind of come into the conclusion that it's going to take 2 months to take one of these MNQ accounts in the EA to successful fruition to get paid in a PA, because that'll put the patience on the other side. I won't be trying to press so hard to make 7 days and 17 days. So basically, when you think about it, you got 17 days to try to get paid inside a month on that EA. If you can eliminate that false belief centered, which is false, if you can just look at an EA as an individual thing, it doesn't mean if it gets there or doesn't get there. That's irrelevant. But once it makes it to PA, then you take your time with it to get it to it. And while you're working another EA up to the PA level, I'm not a proponent of using these trade copiers and whatnot either until you have your system down to the point that you can do it correctly all the time, 100% of the time. There's too much volatility in the futures markets. Even trading the micros at 9 contracts at $4.50. I mean, it's not a lot. I'm not confident enough in 10 trades, which I have to go back to very square one, right? I have to log 100 trades in the MNQ at 9 contracts. And I do not have the patience to do this anymore because I want to get paid. I want to make money for my family, and that's where the problem is coming in. Because I'm pressing too hard on the gas pedal and not hitting the brakes. I'm just flying through there and hoping and praying one of them gets to 53,000 before it fails. And right now, that has not worked for me. So the other side of the coin is, and I've printed off my trades, and may I have to slow down to the point that I have to input that whole trade sequence in to the logging it in again before I'm able to put on the reversal off of a bad signal. A lot of us try to do this, right? We reverse off of a loss, and then you lose that one. Then you reverse off of that reverse, and you lose that one. There's a lot of my problems right there. My initial trade might be break even, and it goes down. I get in again, lose that one, reverse that one, reverse it again. Next thing I know, I've taken a break even trade, and if I just left the mother effer alone, it would have went to target. Yeah, so how far do you trail behind that trade to maximize your opportunity to capture those bigger moves that happen? Today, God, if you could have just bought the market and sat and forgot it today. I mean, the NASDAQ went to all-time highs. All-time highs today. Don't happen very often. I was able to take one of my EAs. I had 2 of them. I was able to take one of my EAs and put $1,000 into the account today again. I just got to be able to do that 2 more times, and then it's above 53,000. I know that I can make it work. It's just a matter of, do I have the patience to once it gets I just, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's my point. My point is I don't have a point. There's my point. My point is I don't have a point. No matter what I do to attack these markets, it's a humbling experience. Apex is very humbling, but is it better to lose $33.60 or real money at 2,500? Maybe it's just I don't know. Death by a thousand, death by a thousand cuts, right? So if you take 3360 and divide it by 2,000, right? 59.52. 50 EAs basically to make 2,000. I think I can do better than that if I can just get myself to stay patient and not worry about how am I going to pay this bill or how I'm going to pay that bill. It seems to always figure out in the end of the month, we seem to always figure it out. It just, I see the comments that come in from some that and I'm my own worst enemy, to be honest. I know that. 9 years I've been doing this prop firm bullshit. God, I wish I never would have known about it. Top Step for 7. Getting ready to start my 3rd year here at Apex. I guess it's starting my 3rd year now, roughly. And I want to teach other people. No, I don't. Yes, I do. The only reason I want to teach in a way is to tell you how not to do it at this point, it looks like, right? Don't do it my way. And the ones that are making people are really making a ton of money at Apex. I mean, if you watch Nutty Bars, when he reviews the top 10 traders, geez. It doesn't take much to become part of the top 10%. That means that you can that means you're making 6 figures a year, right? 100,000. Top 10% in the world. If you can make 100,000 a year, you're in the top percent of earners in the world. Geez, I used to be that. Can I get out of my own way? That's it right there. Can I get out of my own way and allow all the knowledge that I got to help me? Do I just eliminate everything that's on the chart? Put the 4-minute chart and a 1-minute chart up and a 60-minute chart up? Forget all the rest of this stuff. Doesn't help to be sick either. Oh. All right, I'm going to review some course material that I have over the years. Torrent was the word that I was thinking of back in the day when you could take a lot of things off the internet. I got courses up the wazoo of traders that have done things over the past. I came from open, high, low, close bar charts. And then I learned how to trade candlesticks. And then for better, for worse, volume has been a nemesis for me because there's too many false signals in volume. And that's unfortunate. If volume was such a great indicator, it would always be correct, and it's not. Volume is the problem with volume, using it in your trading decisions, is it could be a true signal or a false signal. That's the problem overall with volume that I have found trying to trade volume, like the VSA concept that that well, I guess Gavin Holmes right now at Trade Navigator talks about. That's a concept that was first talked to about. It's a man that died, Tom Williams. Tom Williams wrote Master the Markets, and he talked about VSA concepts, volume spread analysis, and it's been I think I was a better trader before I even took on volume, because it just puts in too many false signals. Yeah, sometimes it works, but the clock is right twice a day too, right? All right, let's get out of here. Bye now. It's Dave Knight here at Dave Knight Trading. God bless. See you on the next video. Bye for now.